Jeffrey, I'm going to let you do the intro this morning. What's going on? You do the intro.
Okay.
Yes.
So, thanks. Okay, I'll do the intro now. Hey, everybody. It's Jeff Jacklich here at Gold Ball Hunting. And, hey, who's that stranger over there? It looks like Brent Abel.
I'm such an idiot. I don't know why I think. Why do I think? Why? Never mind.
I don't know.
It's a never-ending question. I actually, by the way, I ask myself that thing almost all day long. Why am I doing this thing with Jacklich? All he does. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's the intro. Oh, so you want me to do the coaching call? All of it? Like, you know how I messed that up.
You
Just
usually
like,
butcher it, but I get a lot of laughs when you butcher the
yeah,
thing. So
it's good for you, though.
So
So
gotta go
anyway,
for it.
so here we are. Yes, Gold Ball Hunting. First, if you're new to us, and if you're not new to us, but you haven't done it yet, myself and that good-looking guy over there to my right is Brent Abel, and we're offering a free coaching call. Free. Did I mention it was free?
You mentioned it was
10
free.
minute,
Didn't mention how long it was.
10-minute free coaching call.
Okay.
That you get both of us on the line, myself and Mr. Abel.
Yo.
And if you bring that one item that is just keeping you awake at night, about your tennis game, of course.
Right.
You bring that one item.
The other stuff, you're on your own.
You're on your own.
Well, you
although
never
the
know.
solution the education you might get might actually help you in other parts of your life.
There you go.
It could happen.
There you go.
Anyway, to get on that call,
Yep.
you go to goldballhunting.com.
Bingo.
And you put your email address in there. You click it, and you get, what do you get? You have access to a video we did on confidence.
Yes.
Right? And then you also get access to our coaching call calendar, where you can get inside there. You can, as my partner says here, cherry pick the time that you want Jeff to call you. Because I will call. I'm going to be the first guy to reach out. I'll get you on the phone, and then we're going to get Brenny in on the line here. We'll collect that call. We'll bring it in, and the three of us will be on that line, and we will hear what it is that's just bugging you. And we're going to give you some words of wisdom on how to solve some of that, and hopefully, get you some sleep back.
Okay. Excellent. That's the long version of how to get on our coaching call. I'm not that I'm criticizing it. I'm just saying that's the longer version. It's kind of like the song, right? They used to have the songs
the
that
dance
would go
version,
8, 9, 10
version.
minutes, right? There'd be Sweet to Judy Blue Eyes. Well, that thing could go on forever, right?
Exactly.
And then they have the radio version, which is the condensed. Let's get to it. Let's get to the next deal. So let's get to the next deal, Jeffrey. Can we do that?
Let's get there. Let's get it going.
Okay. One of the things that you and I, we encourage two things. Number one, you got to get out there and practice, right? You got to get out there and do the work, right? We all know that. That's got to be a given. If I don't know what episode number this is today, 104, 105, something like that. But whatever it is, you've been hearing us for a long time saying that you got to do the work. None of this stuff is that you can intellectually, you can hear it, you can understand it, and it's like a light switch, boom, now all of a sudden, somehow magically, it's happening. Right. You have to do the work, but I think there's this other component too and it's more than just the mental part where, well, if I do enough work, automatically it's going to transform over. And I think that there's two things going on. Number one, you do the work, and by doing the work, meaning that you don't know when it is that work is going to kind of kick in and feel natural for you. You can't shove it in there. You can't say, well, I'm going to go work 3 sessions on my topspin second serve, and after 3 sessions, expect it's there.
Right.
It could be there after 2 sessions, or it might be there after 22 sessions. You don't know.
Right.
And the more you try to force it in, the longer it's going to take to happen. But the other thing I think you have to do is somehow believe in yourself, which is like the biggest cliche of all time.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of players out there, Jeff. I've been in that group too, where I feel like I'm doing the work, and yet I still don't, when I get in the match, believe in myself for
Right.
whatever that thing is. So, any thoughts on how you make that, how you create that bridge from, and we know we've got lots of guys out there, lots of gals, love these players. They're working their fannies off, and they're
Right.
so diligent to it, and they're just working and working and working, but they haven't been able to create that
Right.
bridge between the work and actually believing in themselves to
Right.
recreate it in the match. So,
That's human nature, the animals that we are, we love predictability. We don't like the unknown, and so wanting that predictability can also be the deterrent from the final brick in that bridge that gets you to where gets you to the promised land of having this work that you've done on the practice court, and you've now done it in practice sets, but now it's match time, and it's not translating there yet, right? And so I think you have to just can you just, it makes it sound so simple, right? Can you, again, we talked about this, detach from like almost being an observer, going, okay, and looking for it, like, okay, here's the situation, okay, do this now. So then it's no longer an outcropping of the practice where it's a natural outcropping of what you've done.
right.
You've now taken it and pushed it back to the mechanical process.
That's right.
Which is not the athletic flow of a match. That's not how. It's not where it's not going to show up in the on the mechanics floor. In the garage. That's not where the dream that you have in your head, the result that you want in your head, doesn't feel like that. The result you have in your head is really, and I can only speak for myself, is this free flow. We talk about swing freedom, and then playing this match through those pressure moments, and then at the end of the match, having this kind of recognition at the end going, okay, today it actually just from start to finish, even when there was bumps in the road, and the bumps in the road were I got broken, but then I broke back, and things like that, that at the end of the day you went, wow, those 100 forehands I've been hitting, up the line, that I've been doing it like really consistently lately. I've been hitting like some great shots up the line off the machine or hand fed, whatever. But it's just not showing up when I play. And then one day it will. And I think the biggest probably stumbling block to get over is don't try to predict it. Don't try to predict it.
Yeah.
You just do the work. And at some point you've, not to get technical, but at some point you have built a new neural pathway. And so that's, part of your confidence is changing the decision. Lack of confidence is because your brain has taken over, your subconscious is working, and it says, I'm serving at 5-4. What do I do now? And so you have to rebuild those neural pathways and get that one out and a new one built. And then that's when you flow then from that, because now you've made that different decision enough times. You've hit that shot enough times where it is the automatic decision to hit that shot.
Yeah.
And that's where.
Well, look, I mean, the automaticity, the automation. Easy for me to say. I can see it. But for me, it was when I was working with Mr. Stowe, I was, and rightfully so I'll give myself a break on this. I mean, he was really working on very specific techniques, forehand, backhand, volley, serve, all that kind of stuff. And I worked with him for 18 months. And at the end of the 18 months, I was still trying to manufacture this technique because I wasn't at a point where I was trusting that it could come out on its own. Now, you can call that believing in yourself, you can call it trusting, whatever you want. But I'll never forget the day, Court 4, Berkeley Tennis Club, and here I am, and it's just a practice match, it's not a tournament. And from the back courts, walks Bill Crosby, who used to be one of Stowe's assistants way
Right.
back in the day, and in his own right, one of the great doubles players, I think, certainly during the day in the 60s. But he came by, and I was a little frustrated. I was launching balls still after 18 months with Mr. Stowe. Still, I didn't have control of
Right.
it. And he just stopped and he said, he said, hey, look, I've been watching you, year and a half. You've done a remarkable job of committing to Mr. Stowe and trying to get this stuff. And you know what? You don't know it, but you've got it. And
Right.
all you have to do now is two things. And I said, okay, just give me anything. I don't care what they
Right.
are. It could
Floundering here.
have been, take a pencil and shove it into your right ear,
Right.
and then break off the pencil and take the other half and take the rough end and stick it in your left ear. You'll be fine. So, but he just said, he said, look, you just got to find the ball. You visually have to find the incoming ball, and then just decide where are you going to send this next shot. And I said, come on, really? That's it? He said, that's it. That's it.
Right.
He basically, then he went in discussion. He's going, look, you have to trust. You have to believe in yourself that you can actually allow this stuff that you've been working your fanny off on, that you can allow it to come out on your own. And I think that's where players get screwed up at the end of, or trying to deploy this stuff they've been working their butts off on, is they just don't believe that they can trust that this stuff can come out on their own. And as you say, you can then athletically start to play the game. And I would say too that part of that is having some shot patterns that are tactics, that are strategies, whether it's singles or whether it's doubles. I mean, you're not talking about, well, I'm just going to free flow and whatever happens happens.
No. I'm talking about automating certain responses, the geometry of the game, and training those certain patterns. And so, for me, we go, when I was working with Sherm Stever and Joe Myers and I were training together, Sherm is just, we're doing this. And I'm just, banging, forehand after forehand, up the line. And, I'd hit 99 in and miss one, and I would be livid. I was so skewed in that, why didn't that one go in? And so it took some time to get the focus off of the one and see the 99, because that's another aspect of the learning process is, we always, it's a classic question from students, Brent, what did I do wrong? And I always go, okay, listen, let's not focus on what you did wrong. Can you just go back? Here are the two things I want you to focus on. These are the two elements I want you to be able to feel, and I need you just to stay focused. I need to keep your mind there, because you knowing what you did wrong doesn't make the boat go faster. It doesn't move the meter in the direction we need to. And I think it also gives the student a false sense of knowing what went wrong when they're on their own.
Well, look,
you know what I mean? So I'm gonna circle back here. So for me, in that transition, when I started to let go of the 100th ball. That's when, in match play, I was on automatic, and I just went over there and boom, snap a forehand down the line, and there it is, 3 inches inside the line, just like I'd seen 99 go in. And so that started to flow out of me, and that's when the confidence and the trust in myself, the trust in the hard work I've been putting in, really started to blossom, because I stopped the focus on the one miss, and I let the 99 speak for itself. And that's where the shift from the mechanical and why did that miss, and shifted to, how about if we just trust that 99 went in?
Yeah, 99 out of 100 is going to make you the greatest tennis player that's ever walked on the earth.
Right.
So,
right.
No, but you're absolutely right. As players have this false perception that if I can correct the 1 out of 100,
Right.
that I will never, ever miss again. And I think it becomes an excuse for players to keep working,
Yeah.
to try to find perfection, which is never going to come, ever.
Nope.
And so you have to have the 3 C's that we talk about with our students.
Right.
You got to have clarity. Here's my intention right here. I'm super clear on what I'm going to do. You got to have the commitment to the swing freedom, and you got to have the courage that when you miss that 1 out of 100,
Right.
it's okay. You
Right.
didn't do anything wrong. It's just reality. So
I've hit some of the best shots of my career, a half an inch long and a half an inch wide.
Yeah.
I couldn't have struck the ball any purer, any
Right.
clearer, any harder, any perfected more. But they were a half an inch wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on.
I mean,
Let's go
there's
to the next
nothing to
point.
fix.
That's
There's
right.
nothing to fix, And so
Right.
I would caution our players out there too that even for you and I, we need an extra set of eyeballs, right? I mean, I'm down there watching you play at Berkeley a couple years ago, and I take a quick video of the 4. I go, Brandy, listen, we need to talk. And the fact that you trust me, you didn't hesitate. Show me. What are you talking about, Jackie? Right?
Right.
And so then you came up and we did some work and now you're aware of that now, and it's a feel thing, right? You're totally aware of it. You're hitting appropriately some bigger forehands at the right time, because it's not this thing. It's not, you need everything big. It's just, so everybody needs a set of eyeballs, because human nature is something went wrong. It must be the gross motor movement that I felt is the problem. And nothing could be farther from the truth. The gross motor movement that felt weird or wrong is the byproduct of some other small little thing that didn't fall into place, that you didn't manage,
Right.
that caused the dominoes to fall a different direction. And so the danger in self-analyzing in those situations, a stroke mechanic to analyze it, I did this, is that most students recognize the gross motor movement, that feel, and not actually, so it's the symptom that they recognize, not the actual cause.
Good,
So that's
good.
that's why you need the extra set of eyeballs to what you're doing.
Well, look, extra set of eyeballs. If you guys are into video, if you can take video, whether it's on your phone or you want to put a camera up in the back fence, more than welcome to contact us, and we can talk about getting some video to us, how to do that efficiently, and Jeff and I can do a video analysis of what we see and give you some direction. The way to do that, just shoot an email to letusknow@goalballhunting.com, and let us know that that's what you'd like to do, and we'll get back to you. Jeff, I think we've kind of worked this one out today. So what's the next step here? What would we like to find folks to do right now?
We'd like them to like us, share us, please subscribe, and then back to what you just said, let us know down below.
Very nice. Very nice. Guys, get out there today, wherever that is, wherever you are. Help someone else. Have a great day. Jeffrey, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.